Stop struggling to cram everything into your suitcase when you travel. These packing tips will help you pack lighter and smarter. Hey everyone, I'm Coral and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to share with you my best tips for packing an organized suitcase. I used to hate packing. I would leave it until the absolute last minute and I always overpacked. Nothing was ever organized. I always worried that my suitcase would be overweight. Over the past year, my husband and I have been traveling a lot, and so I've had to get that under control. I've learned a lot of different tips and organization techniques in order to pack easier, pack smarter, and keep my whole entire suitcase organized. Now that I have a plan, whenever I pack, it's a lot easier and I don't avoid it as much, and I'm not worried when we get to the airport that my suitcase is gonna be overweight, and everything stays nice and organized the whole entire trip. My first tip for packing an organized suitcase is to make a plan. I like to plan out the outfits that I'm going to wear by the day. Before I start packing, I sit down and I list out all of the days that we are going to be on the trip. I'll put the activities if I know that we're going to be doing something next to the day, and I like to also research the weather to see what kind of outfit I'm going to need. From there, I'll plan out what I wear, what top, what pants, what shoes, and any accessories that I might need. This really helps me to not overpack because I bring exactly what I planned that I'm going to wear. I also plan out anything like swimsuits or workout outfits or any other extras that I'm going to need. Then I fold up this list and I put it in my suitcase or in my backpack with me whenever I'm traveling, and that way every single day I don't have to think about what I'm going to wear. I can just pull out my list, look at what I'm going to wear, grab it out of the suitcase, and I'm good to go. It saves me time when I get there because I'm not having to think about and decide what to wear every day. And it's also great because it helps me narrow down exactly what I'm going to bring. If I notice that I'm bringing a lot of the outfits of the same color, it'll help me narrow down the shoes that I'm going to bring. That way I'm not bringing tons of different pairs of shoes. It also helps with accessories. It can also help me stick to a color scheme. If I'm packing a lot of black stuff, then I'll stick to the blacks. That way I'm not having to bring like a tan or a nude pair of shoes. If I'm bringing mostly neutral stuff, then I will stick to that, and it can help me weed out the things that I don't really need and use the same items like shoes or jeans multiple times, and that helps me pack less. My next tip is to fold your clothes vertically. So instead of folding your clothes and stacking them horizontally in your suitcase, whenever you fold them in the way that you can set them upright and line them up in your suitcase. This helps you see everything at a glance so that you know exactly what's there. You can grab what you need without having to take out everything in your suitcase or dig down to the bottom and make it a mess. I've also found that it's easier to find more room in my suitcase whenever I do this because everything is all lined up neatly. Everything fits in just a little bit better than if I were trying to make multiple stacks inside the suitcase. My next tip is to utilize packing cubes or pouches. Now, I'm not one of the type of people that use packing cubes for every single thing. I like to keep the majority of my clothes stacked vertically like my shirts and my pants, but for smaller things I do like to use pouches. One thing I use this for is I have a packing cube for all of my bras. That way I can stack them all together, they don't get smushed, and it makes it easier for them to stick in the suitcase. Bras are kind of one of those weird things that can be hard to find a place for or to section out in a suitcase, so having it in a packing cube is really nice. Lots of people also like to use packing cubes for socks and underwear. My suitcase has a pouch at the front that I use for that, but if I didn't have that, I'd probably buy another pouch or packing cube for those as well. Another type of pouch that I like to use are shoe bags. To me, these are really important because you don't want your shoes getting your clothes all dirty. I have two different shoe bags that I use. I have a large one that is great for boots or really large tennis shoes, and then I have one that's a little bit smaller that I can fit multiple sandals and different pairs of shoes in. These shoe bags make it really easy to just set on top of my clothes once I have everything else packed, and it keeps everything nice and organized, and then I don't have to worry about my clothes getting dirty or my clothes being smelly like my shoes. To me, a shoe bag or two is incredibly important. My next tip is to have a travel beauty kit. I like to keep all of my travel shampoo, shampoos and conditioners and soaps and beauty products in a kit that I use specifically for travel. This makes it really easy to just grab, refill what you need, and toss it in your suitcase whenever you're ready to go. And you have the added bonus of not forgetting things if you have this beauty kit already pre-packed with the majority of things that you're going to need for your trip. I made a video a couple of weeks ago specifically about creating this travel beauty kit, so I will link that down below and right up here in the cards. If you need to make your own travel beauty kit, go check that video out. My next tip is to use travel space bags. Ziploc makes space bags specifically for travel that you don't have to use a pump or a specific tool in order to suck all of the air out. These are great for large items that take up a lot of space, like sweaters or jackets. I bought these last year for our trip to Europe. I had some larger sweaters and vests and jackets that I needed to bring with me, and I knew it'd be really hard to try to cram them into the suitcase. They're super easy to use. You just fold up the items that you're going to put in the bag, and then you roll it from one side to the end, and it pushes out all the air as you roll it. Because they're so easy to use, it's easy to pack, and then as you're using the items when you're traveling, it's easy to just toss them back in. So you open it up whenever you need to grab an item out, you wear the item for the day, fold it back up, and stick it back in the space bag. When we were on our Europe trip last year, we went to multiple different cities, and I was constantly going in and out of these bags in order to grab sweaters and vests, and it worked great. One very important tip for these space bags is that while they do help save space, it is not going to change the weight of the items that you are putting in the bag. So if you're putting things that are really heavy, just be very cautious about that. Yes, it's taking up less space, but the weight of the items are still going to be the same. So be very careful with that while you're packing. Like I said, I used it for sweaters and big puffy vests. So they weren't super heavy, and it really helped to just compress them so I had more space to put my other clothes. My next tip is to wear your bulky items on the plane. Like I said in the last tip, you can put a lot of things in those travel space bags, but you can also take those items with you and wear them on the plane. This is a great tip for jackets because then you don't have to cram them into your suitcase. And another really good item to use this for is your shoes. Obviously, you can't stick shoes in a space bag and make them smaller. So find your biggest, bulkiest pair of shoes and wear them on the plane. That will help with saving space, and it's also going to help with the weight. My last tip is to bring a dirty clothes bag. This really helps to keep your suitcase organized as you are traveling. You don't want to be throwing your dirty clothes in with your clean clothes and getting them all stinky or getting them dirty. If you bring a specific dirty clothes bag with you and place your dirty clothes in there each day, then it will help keep everything organized and keep your clean clothes clean, help you know what's clean, help you know what's dirty, and then the rest of your clothes aren't going to smell. This also makes it really easy whenever you get home because you can just grab your dirty clothes bag and throw it in your laundry basket or take it directly to your laundry room and start washing all of your clothes whenever you get back from your trip. Those are my best packing organization tips. I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I hope it helps you the next time you are packing for a trip. If you need tips for creating a travel beauty kit, click down below in the description for the link to watch that video. I've also linked all the products that I mentioned down below in the description, so click there to grab the items you need for your next trip. If you did enjoy today's video, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up down below. Also, comment below and let me know. Do you have any other tips for packing an organized suitcase? If you haven't already, click that subscribe button and hit the bell. That way you never miss a video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.